Yodi, yodi, yodi. We're here to do some ranked. I'm going to do 3 rounds of ranked, unless it's too quick, obviously. Like, if we went 10, 15 minutes around, then I'm good. But if we get one quick one, we'll do 4. But that's what we'll do. And it can be hit or miss. Sometimes we get some really fast ranks. Sometimes they last a long time, and we're just in it. So again, we're Platinum 3. Our goal is to get to... Oh, that's different. Here we go. Our goal is to get to the next one. I got no idea what the next one is. Goal is to get to the next rank. I don't think I'll be able to do that tonight, but hey, it never hurts to try. I will say, the Batman is sick. I'm so glad I got that skin. That is sick. Man, I might have to use that skin more often. That skin is sick. I might make a new streaming skin right after this with that Batman. That is filthy. Alright. Real life stuff right here. Oh, somewhere outside of it. I don't need to go directly into it. We are in a predicament. I didn't have a good gun. It probably didn't matter. Yeah, it probably didn't matter, to be honest with you. My aim was garbage. It wouldn't have mattered. It's alright. It's all good. still working on getting this copyright stuff figured out regarding YouTube. Which is not a problem. I mean, it's not a big deal. I am really over-exaggerating how big of a deal it is. It's really not a big deal. If anything, it's very minimal. There's no, like, strikes or anything on my account. There's no problems. And if anything, I've cleaned all of them up. I just gotta know what I'm doing. Which, nobody who started anything was perfect at everything, so that's how you gotta look at it. Learn to suck at something new again. Always remember that, kids. Always learn to suck at something new again. Because if you don't, you're never going to grow. Ever. Well, this is unfortunate. This is a bad time. I had no chance. That's lame. I think he's the same guy I just faced. Boy, we are having a day. Oh, they played a... That makes more sense. That's funny. That's crazy. Wow. Okay. I was looking at a video that I had on my YouTube. And... Again, not a strike or copyright infringement or nothing. But, I mean, well, kind of, but not really an infringement. But it was a video that I had from 15 years ago, recording Cliff Lee warming up for the Tacoma Rainiers. And in the background is audio from a baseball thing from 1946. And YouTube deemed it as a copyright usage, obviously not on purpose, because they have common sense. Like, 15 years ago, I wasn't recording Cliff Lee doing a bullpen so I could get usage off of a copyright deal. That's insane. Like, there's no way. That was never the intent. No one's trying to do that. I'm gonna get killed again. This is not my day today. Hello. Jeez, I am failing hardcore today. But anyway, on that video, it's like, that's what it says, and I'm like, yeah, the goal was never to use that. So anybody who skimmed my video and the audio picked up on the, with the audio picking up on the, what is it? What's the term? Audio picking up on the, wow. Late at night, not remembering things. The AI or the wave, the whatever the thing is. I'm going to remember it as I'm remembering this, watching the video back, or whomever watching the video back. I'm not going to know the term now, but the ideology of the scan of the audio that was in that video got picked up, and it picked up an old clip from somewhere, and it heard it, and YouTube found that scan and said, oh yeah, that's an infringement, or like that's a copyright usage. And I'm like, okay, great, but you do realize that like just because they got picked up in the background doesn't mean that's the intent. Like it's the same thing with Fortnite, right? Like you're playing your game, your goal is to promote what you do and to let other people view it and to deem if they find that entertaining, etc. And if there's a separate copyright behind it, then, which is what YouTube does, which is great, they allow it now. Back in the day, you couldn't edit this stuff out. Back in the day, they did not care. They were like, nope, can't use it because we don't want to get sued. Like, we don't want to be involved in a lawsuit. Totally fair. But like, today, they give you the opportunity of like, we know that wasn't your intent. We know you weren't straight up using someone else's content and stealing it. We know that. So here's your chance to, you know, if you're gonna make money off of it or profit off of it, here's your chance to eliminate that opportunity up front so that you can still boomski, let's go. So now YouTube gives you the opportunity to profit off it still, but understanding that if you do and then somebody finds out about it, you had the opportunity to fix it. And you still can, and I'm guaranteeing you, depending on how old it is, YouTube would probably say pound sand because they would tell you it's not that big of a deal, that wasn't the intent behind their video, calm down. So, like, perfect example from a clip from 1946, do you think anybody with a brain would sit there and pull that clip and utilize it as an opportunity to sue you in that instance? I don't think so. The chance of that happening is slim. Now, if you're going to pull, for example, like in Fortnite right now, the Mariah Carey emote, where it's singing the All I Want for Christmas, if you're going to pull that, utilize that constantly, and make money off of it because it's funny, because it's hilarious, and you're going to do that, yeah, you dang Skippy, you're probably going to get sued. Because a lot of people know that song, and a lot of people are aware that that is not what you should be using that for because it's very popular. Like, you got to read the room, right? So, like that, like, at least that's the ideology behind it. Which is nice that YouTube gives you that opportunity. Like, if, for example, like, there have been multiple times where I've played this game and I've recorded videos like I am right now, and somebody will use that emote, or that emote will pop up and it'll say, oh yeah, this could be a potential copyright infringement, you're breaking copyright laws, you know, you could get in trouble for this if you tried to monetize. It's like, all right, that makes sense, sorry, my bad. And then I just basically mute out the sound. I allow a video editor to come in, mute out the sound, and they just straight up, you know, from that moment on, they just mute out the sound in that moment for like, what, 15, 20, 10 seconds, depending on how long they find, you know, reasonable, which is totally fair. Whatever, you know, clip got picked up on a scan, they'll deem it as, you know, in that, ooh, nice gun. They'll deem it in that moment of like, oh, okay, this could be seen as copyright infringement if someone were to take action. right? Or like in general, they just don't allow you to post that for monetization, period, because it's got a copyright attached to it. It's like, that's fair. But they allow you to bleep it and to even potentially still use your voice because your voice is on the audio, which I've seen that in the studio thing as I've been looking today. And I sit there and I'm like, that's actually pretty sweet. Like, I have major respect for that. Because, like, obviously, if you're just trying to play the game and you're not trying to copyright anything, why would they want you to either take down the entire video and not allow you to just utilize your content for what you're trying to accomplish, which for me is not really a whole lot. It's just having fun and showing my content. But I think it's really cool that they allow for that now so that you can still just post your stuff. It doesn't have to be anything too difficult, and they can just mute in the background. Like, just because there's a 10-second portion of a video that you have for 30 minutes, your clear intent is not to copyright and take that song. And if they're only doing it just to save their, CYA on their liability, then that's totally fair. And I actually don't blame YouTube for that at all. They're just protecting their side. But it's cool that they're like, no, if you want us to edit this portion out that we deem copyright incremental, then please just get this portion either muted or mute the entire portion, or we'll keep your voice and mute the background. I'm like, that's kind of perfect, because that's all that's needed. So, like, for example, there's a bunch of emotes on here that I really like that are copyright infringement, because obviously there's songs with them. Well, me being newer to this stuff, I'm aware of that. I've done radio and audio in the past, but I won't lie to you. Like, I am a little naive to, like, the YouTube side of it, where it's like, I'm literally not trying to use that song for any kind of, monetization if I ever got to that point. I just like the emote because the emote's funny. And I like the song with it because I like the song. But again, the point is not to monetize off the song to not get it. Obviously, if the day ever came where, let's just say, for example, I made serious cheese off doing this, yes, I would probably go to the artists themselves or the people and say, hey, do you want to cut from this? That's if you only get huge in what you do. I don't intend on that happening here. But if it ever did happen, it's like, yeah, heck yeah. If I got big enough to the point in a YouTube thing where there's a certain emote, which I'm probably going to love forever, it's the Rolly song. I love that emote. I would definitely go to the artist and be like, hey, y'all want to cut from what I do? Like, I want to use your emote because that's freaking awesome. I love it. Obviously, there would be some kind of a negotiation, and then you'd figure that out. But it's like, that's all you have to do. Because at the end of the day, I'm guaranteeing you they would love for you to promote their content and promote their ability to do stuff. That's all the world is. It's all negotiations. It's all just opportunities to utilize stuff. It doesn't mean you're trying to steal it. But I like that YouTube allows for you to, like, hey, this is an opportunity that we don't want you to get your side and our side backhanded for, and that you can fix it. So, I don't know. Sorry about being a nerd on all this, but YouTube's a lot more accessible now for people than it used to be in the past. I mean, I remember when YouTube first came out almost 20 years ago. Back in, I think it was 05 or 06. I want to say it was 06. It might have been around longer, but it wasn't as big of a deal as it was now until about, I'd say 07. 06, 07 was when it was really, 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 really big. Like when it started getting huge. And then obviously in the 2010s, it got to what it is today, which is heavily impressive. I mean, I'm impressed with YouTube. It's a megalodon conglomerate. Just associated with Google now. Like, I remember when YouTube was its own entity and it didn't have any ads. I remember those days. There's no way he can see me in here. There ain't no way. But no, do like that. It's way more accessible now. You can do it on your phone. God, I remember when you couldn't even, before smartphones got to the way they are today, I remember when you couldn't even do all that stuff. Now you can just upload your stuff onto your phone and call it a day. And yes, if you want to be really, 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 really good at it, you got to edit, and you got to have either an editor or somebody to figure it out for you. And I totally get that. Ain't no way he can come up here and see what I'm doing. There ain't no way. He's gonna get absolutely murked if he comes up here. He won't be able to see me at all. This will be a great test. Great test. Or he could be a complete jerk and wait for the storm to come through and absolutely annihilate me. Which I wouldn't blame him at all. But since I got one kill and I've got 23 people left in the game, more than likely it'll be about 20 by the time we get to the storm being gone. I got a shot. I think after this game I'll play one more game. And then I'm out. But anyway, talking about YouTube, it's like, I love how it's way more accessible than it's ever been before. And with all that, and with everything that, you know, is content creation today, I just feel like it's so much easier from a just get your stuff out there perspective. I mean, obviously editing and all that, it's easier as well, but I feel like editing and all that as well, like, it's still its own version of difficult. It's still hard. It's just a different kind of hard. Yeah, see, now we're down to 18 people with one kill left. This is the moment where I wish I had my Emma Frost all crystallized outfit. This is the moment right here. Because I stick out like a sore thumb on Tuesday. I mean, it's bad right now. But if the tree was green, I tell you what, you wouldn't be able to see me. Alright, now that's cool. I like that. That one too. Alright, that's pretty elite, I'm not gonna lie. I saw shooting over here, so I assumed they'd be up there, but assumptions are what do us in, right? That'll be fine. Just grab the bike and get back going. That looked like a person, didn't it? Is it just me, or does that look like a person? It does, doesn't it? Alright, let's find a bush to camp out in real quick. Oh, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. I knew it. Nice spot. See, I was in that same boat. I was like, maybe I should... Yeah. Maybe I should hide behind a rock instead of find a bush, but that's what I get. And see, he's got high ground. Yeah. See, he's smart. I think that's what I need to do next time, is go up and find high ground when you get late in the game. Because once you find high ground, especially with having a... Well, hold on, what's his loadout? So yeah, he's got a blue... So he's got a blue Fury. Or no, he had a purple Fury, and this guy's got a blue one. Yeah, he's got a gold SMG, which he's using. No, he's using the blue Fury. He's getting annihilated. 9 kills. Oh no, he's got 1. I had 1 kill. That's what it is. I wish it would tell you how many they have. All right, last match. Perfect, last match, and then we're done. All right, last match of the night, and then it's New Year's Eve. Think about this. We'll be halfway through the decade. Just fathom that. After tomorrow, we'll be at the halfway point of the decade. I mean, that's crazy, man. I still remember where I was. On the night before 2020. Like, New Year's Eve 2019. I was working at Cadence Aerospace. I was pulling a 16-hour shift because end of year product and all that. And if any of you have actually worked in if any of you have actually ever worked in some kind of industry, manufacturing industry, and the bean counters are relatively, let's just say, latent on their attempts. I'm gonna hide um, on things. Then you know that sometimes end of months, end of years can be brutal. And ours was. I think I worked from 5 a.m. Oh, good lord, time to run. Uh-oh, I ain't gonna make it. Get over here, bud. Oh, I'm not gonna live. I'm not gonna make it. But anyway, back to the bean counters. If they're not doing a good job, like you generally have really bad, you have really bad, you're gonna have a bad time. Anyway, it was end of the month, end of year, and I got there at 5 a.m. They told me I needed to work until the job got done, which is pretty much all of us. They're like, just be aware that you're gonna work a long ass day, and we did. And we worked from 5 a.m. until I got off work. I think I want to say because it only takes me 30 minutes to get home with no traffic, and I think I left at like 11:10, and I got home at like 11:45. Yeah, because it was a 16-hour day, right? So 5 plus 6, 6 to 12. Yeah, it was about a 16, 17-hour day because they gave us multiple lunches. They even served us food there, everything. Like they served us lunch there and they served us dinner because they knew they knew it was an absolute S show. Um, but anyway, they served us dinner, they served us lunch, and our bosses even got us some. I think it was some breakfast stuff. Like they didn't get us coffee, but they got us like some kind of breakfast thing. They knew we were going to be there all day, and they also allowed us not to work. It was like obviously you don't work New Year's Day, but then they were like the day after New Year's, they're like you don't have to come in and work. They're like nobody has to show up. It's not a requirement because they knew it was a joke. Like they know it's a joke that we have to sacrifice an entire day of our life just to go work because they know it's such a joke. And I think it's even like the day before that day, it was like, all right, if you only need to work like 6 hours and go home and go to bed, go do that. They said they prefer that so that we can get all of our production done um, at year's end. Like that's all they cared about. So I guess there's some perks. You also get time and a half, double time and a half after 10 hours, like all that crazy stuff. And the fact that, the day and all that stuff. I mean, it's just, yeah. Anyway, um, but going back to the main point, I remember where I was New Year's Eve, and I got home about 15 minutes to spare from the time. Um, but by the time it was 2020, and I was playing Frank Sinatra, the song they play after the ball drops in New York. I was playing that song the whole day. I was like, man, this sucks. Like us being here all day long. This is crazy. And so like I did that. A bunch of the other dudes left like an hour before, but I had to stay because I was the last man on the totem pole because we were a union shop. Went home, got home, watched the Space Needle blow up. For those of you that don't know, living out here in the Pacific Northwest, our big thing is watching the Space Needle blow up on King 5 or Como News or whatever. And you watch it go off. Fireworks go off for about 15 minutes, and then you go to bed. I've personally been there before to the Space Needle when it goes off during New Year's. Pretty cool to be there in person. Not on the Space Needle because that's like thousands of dollars. It's not worth it unless you're so wealthy it doesn't matter. Or you just want to do it for one time in your life, which I wouldn't recommend because honestly, that's just not worth it. But I was there with my girlfriend, God, back in 2008, going from 2008 to 2009. So 2009 New Year, and we went and we celebrated watching the Space Needle, literally like on the lawn of the Space Needle, just below it as the fireworks go off. It was great. The hardest part was going home with the traffic because we parked in a parking garage, and the traffic was horrendous. We didn't get home till like I think 3 a.m. It was absolutely horrendous, but it was worth it from the perspective of the experience. You'd never going to do that again. Never think you're going to do it again. All that stuff. So that part was cool. It was just the fact that there was so many freaking people in that garage, and you're only there. I mean, we got there. I think we got there at like 10:30 to pick a spot, if not a little bit earlier. And then when all the songs went off and everything, um, when all the songs went off and the fireworks and the music and everything went off for the next 15 minutes, they had music going on at the base of the Space Needle where we were at. I mean, it was cool. But then, yeah, it got crazy really quickly in regards to leaving. Like, people were scrambling to run back to their cars, like, because they were like, we do not want to sit in this traffic, etc. And, yeah, that was cool. It's crazy to think that was a legit 15 years ago. Over 15 years ago. That's insane. Oh, there's a person right over there. But no, I remember right before the new year, like in 2020, going through all that stuff. Time to run. I'm dead. I had no chance. But yeah, and that was 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago that I worked that 16-hour shift. 5. What the heck? One more for the road. I want to finish my story. Because since they've all been quick, might as well make another one quick. But yeah, 5 years ago. And that was the beginning of the decade, obviously. I count the decade, because everybody's different. I count the decade as 2020 to 2029, or 2010 to 2019, right? I remember when the decade changed from 2019 to 2020. Literally that night, I was telling people, I was like, they already have on like iTunes, they already have like the best of the 2010s. And it was New Year's Eve night. I was like, this is crazy. Like, we're already going into a new decade. Because, you know, when you're in your 20s, a new decade is, you know, you've only seen it twice in your life. I remember where I was in 1999 in New Year's Eve, 1999. And I remember exactly what I was doing. I was with one of my friends from elementary school. I was in 10th grade. And no, I was in ninth grade, excuse me. No, what the heck? I was 9 years old. I was turning 10. I was in third grade. My bad. I was in third grade. We were at his house. He had a 3-story house. Well, technically 2, but it was like 3-level. A 3-level house. We were in the bottom level of his house, a split level. Split level, that's what it's called. We were in the basement portion of the split level. And I forget how many people were there. I want to say it was like 5 or 6 other people, friends, whatever. Everybody was scared of like Y2K and all that dumb stuff. And I remember we were down in the lower half of the split level house in Lakewood, Washington, and we were watching Castaway. Ironically, people forget Castaway was one of the biggest movies of the year in 1999, and it was really one of the kind of the more PG-rated movies that you could watch for a bunch of kids. And we were all down there and we watched Castaway, and right when Castaway was over, I think it was right when we had about 15 minutes left, 10, 15 minutes left before the new year was over. And I was like, dude, we're about to go into the new millennium. This is crazy. And you know, you're 9 years old. You have no concept of anything. So you're like, okay, And I wasn't really worried about Y2K. I could have cared less. I was like, I'm 9 years old. I don't care if the computers ruin the world. Like, I could care less. Like, because at that time, computers didn't run your life. Like, that wasn't a thing. Like, you played N64, you played PlayStation, or you played Sega. Dreamcast was preferable because it was brand new. Or you played Game Boy, which all of us played Game Boy. We all played Game Boy Color. We played Pokemon. Like, that was the thing. That's all you did. Like, no one cared about social media and all that other stuff because it wasn't a thing. It didn't exist. That's what we did. We watched Castaway, and then after we watched Castaway, we all went upstairs. We watched the Space Needle go off. We checked to make sure that the computers didn't restart and freak out. And that was it. And we celebrated. We blew up fireworks, and we had poppers, and we drank sparkling apple cider. I remember exactly where I was when that happened. That was great. The 2000 New Year. I was 9 years old. That was. We're talking 25 years ago right now. Like, how crazy is that? Like, think about how nuts that is. I remember that like it was yesterday. I remember where I was for the 2009 to 2010 New Year when I was going into 2010. I just told you my 2008, 2009. The year after that, girlfriend actually had left me, cheated on me, etc., all that fun stuff. Um, and I went to go see my dad's side of the family, and we were in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. I hadn't seen them in, I want to say it was since I was like 2, 3 years old. So we're talking like early 90s. I was born in 1990. So like, I hadn't seen them in over 15 years, pretty much my whole life. Like, I'd talked to them and stuff, but I had never actually physically seen them in years. And I was there. We were all watching the thing. We're like, wow, we're going to go into a new decade. This is crazy. Like, you're going into a new decade. The first, second time in your life you've seen a turn of a new decade. Well, that you can remember. I mean, 1990 I was born, but I wasn't born in the 80s, and you're not going to remember that. So, like, I remember where I was then. We sat there and we drank alcohol and did the whole thing and had fun, and I think we played beer pong. And well, actually, I don't think we played beer pong because I wasn't in a frat by then. I'd never been in any kind of fraternity or nothing. I had just started college. I had just finished my first semester of college, which was brutal academically. Did not do well. I just struggled a lot my first semester of college. But then I joined a frat the next semester and all that stuff. But anyway, like, I remember where I was then. And then go into that last one I just said when I was working at work for 16 plus hours that day. And if not longer, it was probably longer to be honest with you. And then we're here 5 years later and we're midway through the decade. It's crazy to think 5 years from now, my son will be 4 years old because he's not born yet. Um, and my daughter will be, which is another mind-blowing thing. In 5 years from now, my daughter will be 9. She's 4 right now. She'll be 9 in 5 years. How bizarre is that? I still remember when she was born. But anyway. Alright, after this game, I'm done. I am exhausted. I haven't done anything. I've just been sitting here yapping my mouth this last game. But this is it. Let's see if we can get some kills before we get out of here so we can move up. If I have been helping you fall asleep, you're welcome. I don't see nothing. I saw somebody up there. I will say this skin is really good in regular grass. Like, you can tell, like, if you're sitting in, like, a shaded area in the grass, it is brutal to see. Especially with the hair and everything. But... I thought that would launch me so that I could use my... Oh, here we go. Well, this is going to be a bad time. Maybe not. Let's see who's out there. Because they cannot see me right here. There ain't no way anybody can see me right here. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're talking. I should give him a come back. Guess not. Man. Tough crowd to this one. I know. I'm aware. It would help if I had people actually wanting to play me. Here we go. It's funny, the last, like, I think it was like 3 or 4 matches in a row, I died in literally 5 seconds. And then this one I've been alive for like 20 minutes and I found nothing. Which, I mean, I guess is nice, but at the same time it's like there's no action. Talk about a hack. Perfect time to do this is right now. Like I said, I've had no action. This is crazy. I died like in 5 games within like, honestly, like 10, 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, nothing. I'm sure you guys are all wondering, well, how do I have this skin? What's the importance? Why do I have... Every skin that I have, there's some kind of rationale and rhyme as to why I have it. Obviously, if I have a battle pass, it's different. But, like, for why I buy, like, a collab skin, what's the importance or what's the significance? Well, I can tell you because, obviously, I'm not going to find anybody who I'm going to kill here lately, so I can give you a quick story. The alien skins, the ones that Sigourney Weaver plays, which is this one right here, one of them, the one with the shorter hair is way, way, way more prevalent, but multiple reasons as to why I have these skins and why I bought them. I actually bought these when they came out sometime during the summer. I want to say it was July. I got super hyped. I wanted to buy them. My mom is somebody who was in the military for, I think it was 10, 12 years. And if you ever look at her photos from the 80s, when she was in the Air Force, when she was a officer and all that other stuff. I don't know if she was ever an officer, but she got up high. I mean, she probably was past that. Anyway, she led she led her units and all that other stuff, and she was basically GI Jane. And for those of you that don't know anything about Sigourney Weaver and or the term GI Jane, that was a movie she starred in, and my wife was hooked. She loved Sigourney Weaver after that. She loved her. She was a badass. She, was a woman who, carried herself independently and all that stuff. And just her presence, the way the roles she played in movies, and really one of my mom's favorite movies ever is Alien. And obviously Sigourney Weaver's role in that movie she absolutely loved, and it's like that's one of the main reasons it's one of her favorite movies of all time. And so when they released, I think it was Predator versus Alien, whatever they released this summer, and that's why when they released it, um, it was the collab they brought in Fortnite, and when they brought this collab into Fortnite, that was when they decided, hey, let's obviously bring back the alien skin. So they did, And so I bought the bundle because I was like, well, not this one specifically, although my mom did have the long hair, but the one with the short hair. Um, it's basically a carbon copy of what my mom looked like, not just because Sigourney Weaver was her favorite character in those movies, but literally she looked like Sigourney Weaver. Like it's crazy how identical she looks, at least in the skins they have here in this game, compared to what my mom looks like. Like, if my mom ever played this game, she would need to have that skin, because literally it would be her. I mean, that's how crazy it is. Not now. I mean, my mom's, you know, mom is much older now, but back in the day, damn near carbon copy. Again, I'm not one to curse, but let me tell you, carbon copy. It's scary. Pretty cool, but it is crazy how similar. And so I was like, I gotta buy that skin, because literally, I'll have it forever, and it looks like my mom, and all the things. This is it. I'm coming down here. That was legit. Alright, if you waited 56 minutes for that one moment, that was pretty sick, even though I didn't kill him. That was cool. But yeah, that's why I have this skin. That's why I like it. Plus, it's pretty sweaty in the greenery portions of the game. During the winter, it sticks out like a sore thumb, but when you're in a dark spot, it's pretty good. So, dang man, this is crazy. I'm not getting any action in this match at all. Like, people are running from me. This is nuts. Got lucky as heck. He got so lucky. Ooh, knife fight. I like it. God, my video's about to end because I can't freaking finish. Because nobody wants to fight me. This is insane. Can we just battle right now? Let's go. At least I got a kill. Alright, I'm going to end the stream here. I mean, I'm probably going to bump up anyway. I finished number 6 and got 1 kill. That's so stupid. Alright, everybody. Have a good one.